Estás viendo Canal América, televisión dominicana para el mundo.
A Time for True Show is sponsored by the Office of Dr. Bernard Fialkoff, a periodontal, dental implant and laser specialist in New York City, for over 40 years. Dr. Fialkoff was honored by the International College of Dentists and Pierre Fauchard, and received the Presidential Lifetime Humanitarian Honor from the White House. Call us at 718-229-3838.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you've given everything you've got, but the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. Let your fears.
Welcome to A Time for True Show. I'm your host, Dr. Bernard Fialkoff, and it's a pleasure to welcome you back again. Many of you have been wondering how to avail yourselves of the show. Very simple. Go on YouTube, click on A Time for Truth Show, A Time for Truth Show, and click the subscribe button, and you will be able to see all our programs from the last few years. And we want to get right to the show tonight because it's a very important one, because it has to do with security, self-confidence, and protecting yourself. And in today's world, with some of the insane changes and violence that we're coming across, it's a very important topic. So, engineer, if you could, I'd like to have you put up the pictures of our participants tonight who are going to be showing us some very important things, and we will start out the show. So let's put those pictures up on the screen, and I will introduce our guests. The first guest is third-degree black belt in Kempo Karate, Ramiro Ramirez. There you see him on the screen. A martial arts instructor with more than 30 years experience, certified in kettlebells, born in Mexico, and grew up in a very hostile and dangerous town. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in human resources and subsequently pursued his teaching career at Centro de Bachillerato Tecnológico Industrial y de Servicios, número 239 y 34. His passion has been martial arts for more than 40 years. There you see Bo to his right, teaching kids and adults and using martial arts as a tool to help them find their passions, their purposes. And he's a head instructor at Kempo Martial Arts and Fitness. He's a member of the Brotherhood Association of Kempo Karate, and he trained civilians and law enforcement departments in the cities of Nava and Allende, Coahuila, Mexico. There you see Bo to his left, and Bo Estrada is a fourth-degree black belt in Hill County Karate. He started at 5 years of age, attaining his first black belt in 2006. Bo continued with studies in Budo Ryu Combat Jiu-Jitsu as a black belt. Superfoot Bill Wallace, black belt in 2008. Japanese Karate Association Shotokan, second degree black belt in 2010. And Pratt's Karate Club, black belt in 2011. And Buddha, if we bring him up live, please, I want a bit of warm welcome to Ramiro Ramirez and Bo Estrada to A Time for True Show. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, this is a pleasure. You know, this is going to be a challenge, but we're up for it. Here we go. So first thing I wanted to ask you, because you guys are such energetic guys. So we'll start out with Ram. What were your dreams as a young man, Ram?
I grew up a few years ago, and my hero back then was Bruce Lee. So that was my inspiration, and I wanted to be the next Bruce Lee, And but then I got involved in teaching martial arts, and this is my passion. This has been my passion since I was 5 years old. And I've been doing it since then. I'm 55, and I'm still kicking.
Wow. And now, how about you, Bo? What was your dream when you were a young guy?
Well, I also had Bruce Lee, but that wasn't my first one. My first one was actually Jackie Chan. He was my inspiration to do all these cool looking moves and awesome tricks and taking hits and whatnot, and also having fun while doing it. So he kind of made me love martial arts more. And I've been doing that since I was 5. So I'm 35 right now. So I'm still going. I'm still kicking. And I love it.
Beautiful. Well, I've heard a lot about martial arts and the skill of learning it. And tell me, how does that translate to a person in the way they carry themselves and their skill in life?
Well, I grew up in one of the toughest neighborhoods in my hometown. I was really shy, but I love martial arts. So when I started helping my instructor, it opened up a new way of life. I ended up teaching for a high school, and I became a teacher of a technical school. And I wasn't, shy. I was able to talk to people. I was able to guide people through their life through the skills that I have through martial arts. And that's why I use my martial art or my art to help people find their passion, find their way, and enjoy also defending themselves.
Beautiful. And how about you, Bo? What is it that you see when you teach someone martial arts? What happens for that person?
Oh, there's a lot that happens. I mean, you can also see like the structure in the body and how they get stronger. They're stabilized more, and they can even like jump into almost any sport that they want to, and they'll be able to work their way through it and even be a decent person in that sport as well. Martial arts also helps out with like your awareness, so you always have to be focused on what's happening around you 24/7.
I think that's so important, because sometimes people are really not there and they react to something that maybe is not even that more funny, that is dangerous, but they're in someplace else. I can't agree with you more. Very true. I wanted to ask you something is because I saw a video on this and I said to myself, how do you guys do this? So tell us a little bit about these kettlebells, because I saw a video and I go, my Lord, that's like unbelievable. I've never seen an exercise so strenuous. So Ram, tell me a little bit about kettlebells.
Well, we use the tool kettlebell because it adapts better to the body mechanics and the impact or the tension of the tendons, ligaments, and muscles. It is a better tool, than barbells or other type of exercise equipment, because it's simple. You can carry it anywhere, but also it works on concentric and eccentric forces in your body. So when you punch, you have to train your body to be able to live in those two type of forces, concentric and eccentric power. So it is a really, really cool tool. Let me show you. This is our nemesis. This is our 53-pound kettlebell, and it's a simple tool, but it is one of the best gym equipment that you can use. It will help your back. It will help your knees. It will help your shoulder. It will give you better posture. But most important, it's going to give you the right mind, muscle, and connective tissue connection to be able to deliver power on your punches and kicks. You will not get hurt that easy. That's the kettlebell.
Amazing. Bo, I wanted to ask you a question because I know people are going to be watching this and they may run out with the kettlebell at the gym and they do too much. So what's the best way, Bo, to start with a kettlebell?
Well, I mean, starting off with the hand position on how to hold it is actually a big difference, because it does hurt the hand if you're not used to it, because you have to hold it in a certain position and it will give you the weight. So eventually you have to get used to that pain, which is just mild pain, nothing major. And then also understand on how to stabilize it while you're standing still. So when your body, because if you're holding on something that's super heavy, you might be wobbling the lower half of your body. So you have to figure out how to stabilize before you start going into those big motions of swings or even snatches.
Can you show us what can you show us what you just talked about so they can see what you're talking about visually?
Yeah.
So
Ramirez has it right here.
these are the basic movements. So the way that you position your belt is got to be in between your legs. Because that is, we follow the center of the body. You start with a really basic exercise. That's the deadlift. That's going to teach you two main patterns of movement in your body: the squat and the hinge. We all do this this two movements in so many different ways, depending on your leverages of your body. But this is how you start. You start with a deadlift, so you go up. You learn how to use your hip muscles to stand up. That is the first move that's gonna get you further up to the swing as you go up, back, and swing, and what's gonna get you to the clean, and from there you push, you press, and then you go down, back, and repeat.
Very
Repeat
interesting.
over and over.
You know, it seems like from watching that, it seems like that's an exercise that really strengthens the rotator cuff.
Rotator cuff, lower back, hamstrings, all your posterior chain is trained. So if you have a life where you sit down too much, those are the muscles that are gonna go numb. Those muscles they need to strengthen to push you up to be able to kick and to punch better or stronger. So if you have a lifestyle that's gonna be more sedentary, this is the tool that you have to do. It only takes 20 minutes a day. That's it.
Okay, so you know what? I know you wanted to give the viewers some tips if they got attacked, and you were going to demonstrate. So why don't I let you go ahead and start with that?
Yes. So I'm going to go a little bit into what Kempo is. Kempo is a set of techniques that enable you to react to an attack. And we always start by doing simple moves. All the first techniques that you're going to do, they start from an attention stance. Because that's when you get attacked. Someone goes to you and tells you, hey, you have a daughter and you're already here, and you don't go into a fighting stance right away. You address everything like this. So the first technique that I'm gonna share with you guys is called the lay sword. It's the first technique that you learn in Kempo, and it's gonna show you three main things. So it's a lapel attack. So this is the first connection with your opponent's body. The first thing you have to do is control three variables: width, height, and depth. So the first move I do, I move back, so I pull him back into me. And that opens my first line of attack, but it is the groin. I'm going to hit the arm, so I create impact. As I hit, I kick the groin. As he goes down, my hand goes in, and I chop the neck. And so what you're learning here is that you're using your backup mass to hit, but also your speed and alignment of your weapon to the target. So as he moves, like a block, kick, chop, and that's the first technique that you learn, the lay sword. Then you move up into more complex movement. This is going to turn into a hook, which I stop. It is the same move, but now I cannot kick. So I go from there, hit the neck, poke the eye, hit the stomach, elbow the face, hit the groin, side kick the chest.
Okay, and you know what? If you can move a little bit more toward Ram. There we go. Yeah, good. Go ahead, continue. I love this. Yeah.
So those are the moves. In Kempo, every technique that you do, you're gonna be like I did. I'm gonna push him that way. So if I'm here and he attacks me, I stop and I keep pushing him back until he's out of the line of attack. And that's when the movie director says, cut.
Very interesting. Yeah, wow. I can see why getting the strength with a kettlebell has a lot to do with the strength that when you strike, right?
Yes, sir. And then all the moves that you're going to be doing, they get more sophisticated. So the more comfortable you are, when they punch, no, sorry. Now you're gonna push and move to the other side to kick from the opposite side, hit the neck, grab the neck, break the neck there. So you're gonna move into more sophisticated stuff or more sophisticated moves. As he's stepping, I hit, then bring him back down, hit the kidney, hit the head, elbow the head, grab the head, and I'm gonna jump and kick the back of his head to hurt the neck. And everything started from that attack. But I have to go back to my basics, evolve this. Maybe I'm gonna go here to grab and punch, stop that ankle. So every time I'm hitting, it's like a domino effect. He hits me, I hit him right there. His body goes down, I stick my leg into his rib, check the leg, so push the leg down, and then I'm gonna hit him, and then hit again to bring that Achilles tendon and break that ankle, and I'm out.
Interesting. Now, what happens if the guy like goes to punch us directly in, not like a cross, but he's like gonna jab right at you, and he's a big guy? Show us what they should do if somebody's coming directly at you with something.
We always ask people to, distance is your best ally. So you're not gonna talk to someone that's confrontational there. We always teach people how to blade. Blade means that I'm gonna be addressing you instead of being confrontational. I'm gonna go sideways, and I'm gonna try to control or de-escalate the situation with my voice, with my posture, but I'm already in my fighting position. I'm already ready to go. So as he moves, if he shoots that jab, I'm gonna move out of the way, and then I can hit and stomp and continue with my attack. But my hands are already up here. I can go to the inside, shoot out that jab, and hit him on the side, elbow him there, back, and hit the face again. But you see, my hands have to be right here. In Kempo, we also have we have the ideal face, and then we have the what if, which I call the ambush move. Sometimes I don't know what's going to happen, and by the time he hits me, my hands go up. So I go from here, down, punch, and then kick the leg. But I already hurt his hands with my elbows to protect. So that is the first move that I teach in any self-defense seminar, how to protect with your elbows. So if someone hits you, you can hurt the hands and not get hurt, yourself.
Can you show that one again for the viewers? I think that one's important for them to see again.
So when we move, this is how we start teaching. When he's hitting me, I step back to my strongest leg. I'm a right-handed fighter, so I go right leg back. I bring my elbows up. So that hand, when he started to hit my face, I put my elbow, and he's gonna hit me right there. From here, if I'm doing self-defense, I'm gonna push down, push back, hit, and then hit the leg. Or, like I always teach ladies, they go up, protect, then they go forward, scratch the face, and kick the groin.
Okay, now what happens if somebody goes to get you or has you or goes to get you in a headlock?
We're going to start with the basic bear hug, because that's one of the things that we see a lot. Those attacks are, if you see the statistics on women attack, that's one of the, this is the second attack. The first one is the hair grab and the slap. That's the first attack. Grab and punch to the face. The second is the grab to take them down and submit them. But I'm going to go further back, and I'm going to talk about self-defense. If someone gets your back, it means that you're not aware of your surroundings. Every time you go into any place, any location, you have to look for the exit doors. Where are the chairs? What are the possible weapons that you can grab and protect yourself? Where's the security guard? Where's the front desk lady? Where's the phone? Where's the fire extinguisher? Every time you address any place that you go, those are the things that you have to look for. Because if you get grabbed from the bag and you're done here. I can teach you a lot of techniques, but the best way to address that is to be aware. But Kempo has a technique where they grab you and you pin the hands down, you go down, headbutt first, as you sit down, then this hand's gonna hit the groin. I'm gonna open him up, elbow him back, elbow the face, and hit him back. As I hit, that leg turns, hit the groin, and I cover out. But again,
you know what? Do me a favor. Can you do that again so that the viewers can watch that, so we can from that point there.
This good tutorial move. So he grabs me slow. My hands, I'm gonna grab his hands like this. Some martial arts they do this, but then you get into a more difficult situation. So when they grab, you're gonna put your feet down, head on his face, and then you're gonna move your hips back so you can create space. You control the arms, and that's gonna be your first strike. Then you're gonna lift your elbow up, so open up the face, elbow this side jaw, and then I'm gonna pull him into my strike. As I push him back, as I go out, I hit the groin, and I'm out.
Okay. So, I think you went a little bit over this already, but I was going to ask you, what's the best, I love that. What's the mindset? What mindset should people have when they're getting into this situation where they're getting a little nervous? They think something's going to happen. What should what should be their mindset? What should they be portraying or exuding?
You have two ways of reacting. The first one is if you're by yourself and they grab you, block and get out. Block, get away, or if you have a gun or something, go back and fight for your weapon. You can take it out and do whatever. But first reaction, block and move away. That's why we all in Kempo, we always hit and then we do a cover out, which it's a step that takes us away from the opponent. But if you're protecting your kids and you're protecting your wife, you're protecting your loved ones, you can't go back. There's no way to go back. So when you do that move and it grabs, then my movement has to be stepping forward no matter what. Your mindset has to be drive through them and then ask for help. Get them away from your loved ones. Probably you're going to get hurt, but you have to be ready for that. And every time you train, that's why we do all this kettlebells and all this stretching and kicking, just to have your body ready to absorb impact. Because you're going to get hit. There's no martial art in the world that's going to teach you, and you're not going to feel pain and you're not going to get hit. Right now we have this crazy frenzy of jiu-jitsu groups everywhere, and it's a beautiful art, but it's just part of the equation. You have to learn how to punch, you have to learn how to kick, you have to learn how to grapple, and you have to learn how to run, because that's the first line of defense. Hit and get out.
Very good. What is there any is there anything that you should say or you shouldn't say? Because you're going to have people watching and say, I can't do that. I'm never going to be able to do this or whatever. But are there things that they can say or not say to try and diffuse the argument? Tell us a little bit about what you think on that.
Well, let me go back a little bit to the classes that you can take. And there's a lot of classes that you can take. There's seminars, a weekend seminar of self-defense. It is not bad if you want to go and try something and have fun. But if you're really thinking of doing a self-defense class, it takes time. Because you have to train your body. You have to condition your body. You have to train your mind to be able to talk to someone under the stress of being attacked. So if the best thing you can do is to get better, get fit, and then as you work, especially if you do Kempo, you're gonna learn all these movements that are gonna give you the confidence to be able to talk, because you have the confidence that you can defend yourself. And that's how you de-escalate. And that's when you start learning more about the visual kinesthetic and the auditive way of addressing someone and de-escalating using the power of your words.
Absolutely. What other moves do you want to show our viewers? Because I know that, when I was with you, there's so much that you know. So go ahead. What else would you like to demonstrate?
The other thing I want to demonstrate is a knife attack. And do you think it's being a knife attack? So the knife attack, it involves a lot of variables, but we got to have a move that's going to put us out of the danger fast. And this is one of the things that I train the cops in Mexico, because you get attacked really fast from there, closer. So the attack goes from there, the back. They always go and reach for the knife and then they stab you, boom, right there, and you don't know what to do. So Filipino martial arts always moves in a 45-degree angle. That means that if you're facing me, I'm going to move 45 and move 45. But you see my hand, what it's doing, I'm moving your knife out of the way. So if he attacks me, I'm going to go, oh, move the hand out of the way. And now I can address and kick and move and do whatever attack I have to. If not, I can move back and hit him back and run away. But this has to be a movement that you have to practice a lot to get that knife out. Then you can grab, and once you grab that hand, you don't let go. If you notice, I'm touching his knee with my knee, and I'm bending his elbow with my body. Those are the principles of Kempo. You have to control the height, the width, and the depth of his stance. So by the time he attacks me, I move back. I control the height by kicking his groin. Now his width by pushing the knee, and now his depth by bringing that elbow down. I can move back, put him on the floor, kick the face, take the knife out, cut, stab, and cut again.
That's amazing. And you know what? At the beginning of the show, I spoke about the fact that you trained police and military. So is what you're doing right now similar for them also, or was that different for them?
It is a little bit different because of the equipment that they use. To teach the songs to a civilian is different from for a cop or a federal, because they have vests. They are protected from certain parts, but they have to just not get stabbed in certain areas. So it changes. The technique changes, and the approach that you go changes. But they're kind of like the same techniques. It's just that we have to be aware of how we're going to deliver to a civilian, how we're going to deliver to a law enforcement officer. Those are the main two things. But for officers, one of the things that I always stress is they have to learn how to inflict damage so they know where not to go. A lot of times they teach them how to grapple, but once you have a knife or you have several attackers, you can't go down. You got to learn how to fight, put them on the floor, and then continue the attack. So they have to be knowledgeable. They have to be fit. It involves a lot of hard work, plus the weapons and the driving. Also, it is a lot of work. And yes, I enjoy that.
You know what? It's been a great show. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. But I wanted to ask you, if someone wants to get with you and Bo, in your place, what is the phone number and what is the email?
Email is number 3, letter R, Kenpo, KENPO @gmail.com. Or you can call me at 210-589-9527. And we can schedule. We do this through Zoom with some of our kids, some of our customers, and we're more than happy to also connect with you and share this beautiful art that is Kempo.
We hope you've enjoyed the show. We'll see you on the next episode of A Time for Truth show. Good night.
This show was sponsored by A Time for Truth Foundation Incorporated as a community service.
Sometimes life can be so damn hard. You don't know where to go. Everything keeps falling apart. Yeah. You try to do your best, but only God knows that you're giving everything you've got, but the world takes you down. You just keep moving on. at your feet.